Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It's Super Dave back at it again with the PA Political Revolution podcast. And I apologize again, man. Look, I know it's been a hot minute, but I've been doing some things. A lot of positive things been coming through. So, I've been having to do some administrative stuff towards that, right? So, please understand I'm still here to stay. I'm gonna try to be getting these podcasts to you in a more timely manner. Trying not to have too much of a lap in between them, but hey, that's life. Things kind of happen. So, and let's forget about the old stuff, right? This going on. We here right now. Let's go ahead and enjoy the company that we having right here, right now. So, without further ado, I'm bringing it to you, right? Today's topic is going to be about the energy hearing in Port Arthur, Texas, right? How Biden's LNG export ban supposedly hurts the local community, right? Basically, what's going on? Mr. John Beard and his environmental nonprofit group filed, if I got all my facts correct, right? Filed an injunction, a lawsuit, right? Filed an injunction to go ahead and stop or to put a pause in the LNG's um, um, building, right, due to some environmental issues. So there's some environmental issues going on with the LNG sample process that has to be taken care of, and you have some politicians with the position that hey, it's going to hurt the communities. It's going to hurt economics for the community, right? And so, first off, what I want to say, I love the refineries, I love the plants, I love the jobs. Now, if anybody knows me, right, knows my first and foremost thing is economics. I don't have a problem with anything Randy Weber's doing, Dave Phelan's doing, the county judge is doing. I believe they are doing their jobs as Republicans and people and politicians, right? Doing what they need to do to try to get the jobs down here for the citizens, right? But but the issue that I have is that you saying that we having jobs is fine, right? All that is fine, except if the citizens of Port Arthur do not benefit from those jobs, right? So it doesn't matter all the jobs that we have if Port Arthur is still high in unemployment, right? High in poverty. If you see if the black citizens are being discriminated against or not being hired or only hired temporarily, then getting laid off or fired or whatever, right? It doesn't do this city because you have a large population of black people in Port Arthur, and you getting that black clown mayor to go ahead and follow you and kind of vouch for that, right? You have the reason why I'm bringing race into it is because you have a black mayor following you around just for that reason, right? Just for that reason, he's like to give the impression that he's looking out for the black community, right? And my main purpose is to break down all of the lies, all of the inconsistencies, and all of the propaganda that's going on so you as a citizen can be informed on exactly what's going on in this city and not to be led astray by some clown politician, some oligarchs, or a propaganda news channel, right? News station, news channel, news apparatus, whatever, right? Whether it be the paper or if it be the television. So you can better discern what's fact and what's fiction from these propaganda apparatus, right? So let's go ahead and start on with some of the videos, right? first off, we're going to go ahead and break into the first statement from Mayor Bartie, right? This is the first statement. This is pretty much, you can tell that this is somebody wrote it for him, right? Because you know he doesn't have, if you know Bartie, you know he doesn't have a real of a clue of what's going on. So let me go ahead and let you listen to what this statement is hitting and what he's trying to do.
Mayor Bartie for 5 minutes to give an opening statement. And you can cut the mic on in front of you there.
Okay, first, I'd like to say good afternoon to each of you and to this great crowd who are gathered here in the city of Port Arthur, and to this segment of the subcommittee on energy, climate, and grid security. At this field hearing, as is stated, I am Thurman Bartie, mayor of the greatest city in the state of Texas, which happens to be Port Arthur, Texas, and you are situated in that city as I speak. Now, to the Honorable Chair and to the members of this committee, I begin this dialogue with a commendable thank you for allowing indulgence from the municipal government, which has jurisdiction where this affected facility is situated. Now, I in no way am here to bash or discredit the Biden-Harris administration on its position on the matter of permits.
In the meantime, while you listen, while you're watching, just look at how they're looking at Bartie in the back, right? This is funny. Just look at how they're looking at this clown lion in the back. Just look at it.
However, I do appeal to the said administration to reconsider and subsequently abandon its present course of discontinuance or disallowing the permitting process to go forward. The city of Port Arthur is home to several petrochemical facilities, and we proudly embrace the fact of having the largest of such facilities in North America, and here we even say in the entire world. With such industrial neighbors come the necessity of relational interactions with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, which is known as TCEQ, and even the U.S.
You could tell he didn't write none of this crap, right? As you know, as the TCEQ. When you listen to a person read, you can just listen to everybody else, right? Duncan, those people that's on the panel, John Beard, everybody else except Thurman Bartie. You can see how fluid their conversation is, right? Versus this clown right here that you can easily see that this is being rehearsed. They fed him this. Hey, your black ass better study this, Thurman. You better study this, and you better not make us look stupid. That's basically what they told him.
Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. These agencies are trusted within our community to be sure that the air quality we all breathe is not contaminated and able to sustain life. Now, in the past, we have relied on collaborations with these agencies to support the economic stability of our community and the physical health of the citizens who call Port Arthur, Texas, home. As I ponder the significance of this hearing on today with relations to the future economic impact of the LNG industry on our city and in our city, I beg for compromise of the positions of all who are actually authorities in the process at hand. As aforementioned, with the petrochemical industry, The LNG industry is alive and well within the jurisdictional confines of the municipal governance of which I represent. The rush to green concept, as it is being applied to this said LNG supplier, will have a negative impact on the economic growth and stability of the city of Port Arthur. The jobs Port Arthurans have during this construction phase.
Now, remember that right there, that little phrase. I'm going to come back to it. The jobs that Port Arthurans have, right? Now, this scripted opening presentation from him, right? Notice how he says that. Now, that's going to be used as propaganda to make it look like, hey, he's fighting for jobs. I just hold that thought.
Will be compromised negatively if the permitting is continued to be disallowed. The economic impact of businesses supplying materials and goods during this operation will harm families' abilities to continue with specific qualities of life. The negative impact will then spread to the region and ill affect thousands of workers and their families. Committee, I implore you to seek an amicable resolve to the present positions by agencies which have authority to bring about the compromise needed to continue the economic growth for our fair city and
You can, people, when I tell you these politicians think you are stupid, this is a prime example of that. Look at how Thurman Bartie just looks at his notes and reads like he cannot think for himself. Now, this guy is a so-called pastor, right? A former pastor, whatever. So he's used to giving bullcrap presentations. There's no reason this guy should be looking down at this paper this much, acting like they don't know what they've read. This guy's nothing but a puppet. They have his hand up his behind, telling him what to say, feeding him what they want you to know, because they use these pastors, right? And pastors use you to kind of get what they want, right? They want favor in politics, so they try to leverage their congregation as votes to these people to get themselves favors while they sell you out.
Provide a living, sustaining, environmentally friendly coexistence of the industrial neighbors with the residents of the city of Port Arthur, Texas. Jobs and the creation of opportunities for families to thrive is the lifeblood of any community. Port Arthur, like any other community, has an obligation to offer to its citizens. This opportunity is made with real supporting opportunities to this by these entities, rather.
You see, he can't even read what he's trying to lie to you about. People, pay attention. They think you're stupid.
And bring about possibility for a better quality of life. Every citizen of Port Arthur does not want the LNG to be non-existent. However, if my time up, I'll get some more seconds. Non-existent, however, we want this facility to comply with federal and state authorities on emissions and regulated occurrences at the facility. Doing so, the possibilities of economic stability for the citizens increase. So let us be the community who stands for environmental wellness and economic stability and growth. And now I yield.
Gentleman's time expired. I gave you a little lenience there because you are an elected official as well, and you.
So now you heard all that bull crap, right? They want to tell you, boy T doing this, boy T doing that, right? You know, now let me just kind of bring you a little bit before that, some of this crazy talk that he was doing. How can he tell you? Well, let's go ahead and first. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to it.
It's what funds your public education. And to demonize this industry that powers not just the state, the nation, the country, the world, it puts a roof over our head here in Port Arthur and all through Southeast Texas. It's just wrong. It's hypocritical. It's ill-advised.
House Speaker and Beaumont native Dade Phelan and Port Arthur Mayor Thurman Bartie are standing strong behind Congressman Weber.
And I don't think that there's going to be some ill effect on the environment because of the growth of LNG and Port Arthur being the export king of this LNG product for the entire world.
They want to keep Southeast Texas on the.
Now, what do you do to qualify that? How can your dumb ass say that you don't think there's no type of environmental effects going to happen? How you know that? People, again, they think you're goddamn stupid. They think you dumb, and they treat you like, they treat you like sheep, right? They treat you like sheep because they figure that if you following people like Bartie, Frank, or some of these other crooked pastors in politics, right, that you don't have any type of common sense. So they'll tell Bartie and other people to tell you these type of crazy shenanigans without no doggone proof. Now we all know that Bartie has been kicked out of a church, has been kicked out of the JP, right? For beating kids, amongst other things, trying to get involved with justice about some crack cocaine in a call from a relative, right? And it's also been alleged that he smoked crack cocaine. He probably smoking Primos right now. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just rumors are going on. From some people say Bartie admitted. I don't know. That's just the rumors. I don't have no proof that he smoked crack cocaine, smoked crack, or snorted cocaine, or however, whatever. I don't have no proof that the man has been doing drugs, but that's some of the rumors. They even had some rumors that that they supposed to have an old video of him being in a crack house. Look, I don't know. That's just the type of rumors, right? But if you know of Bartie, you may have heard some of these rumors, or if you know, you may know. But at the very least, you may have heard some of these things, right? Especially with the interference with the car and the crack cocaine stuff. That's on, that's on file. So that they figure if you listen to Bartie, you still going to his church, you still listening to type of religious services, they're going to treat you as a sheep, right? And as a sheep, they pretty much mean you're not intelligent. Now, let's listen to this again. How can Bartie don't think, guarantee, or whatever, there's nothing's going to happen environmentally? And they've had issues like the TCEQ, the German pellets, all of these negative things that's happened in Port Arthur. But you, Mayor Bartie, you want to say that you don't think nothing's going to happen.
Native Dade Phelan and Port Arthur Mayor Thurman Bartie are standing strong behind Congressman Weber.
And I don't think that there's going to be some ill effect on the environment because of the growth of LNG and Port Arthur being the export king of this LNG product for the entire world.
They want to keep.
Now, that don't even seem like a complete sentence. I don't know what he said before that the news, but that doesn't. You don't think that something's going to happen by them being the king? It's just crazy how Thurman Diablo Bartie talks. It's crazy. So he's telling you that off the jump. That's before the actual congressional meeting, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it says February 21st. So yeah, that's before the meeting. So he's initially off the top giving you straight propaganda, right? Giving you straight propaganda. Now, let's go into the other propaganda, right? Let's go ahead and kind of listen with
LNG
this. Right, this is kind of pretty much similar to what he's saying, right? But they cut this 1 minute clip of him. This the the pre-recorded statement that he's given, right? The prefabricated statement. Port Arthur Mayor, the rush to green agenda will hurt families and jobs. So listen to what he's saying right here.
industry is alive and well within the jurisdictional confines of the municipal governance of which I represent. The rush to green concept, as it is being applied to this said LNG supplier, will have a negative impact on the economic growth and stability of the city of Port Arthur. The jobs Port Arthurans have during this construction phase.
The jobs Port Arthur have during the construction phase, right? So you pretty much heard that whole thing. Now it's implied right here that he's fighting for jobs for Port Arthur, right? Hey, it seemed like he's doing what he's supposed to do. Fight for the jobs. Hey, this pause is hurting jobs. So now, this is what they clip. This is what they're actually presenting to you, right? But now let me show you the real. They not showing this part of the process. This needs to be shown out here, right? Now we're gonna go into what I clipped, right? This is the second portion of that, of pretty much the main thing of the speech.
Out there, but there are awesome Port Arthurans who have the skill level, and there are awesome Port Arthurans who act.
Let me start this at the beginning.
So, Mayor Bartie, you stated in your testimony that the policy of the Biden administration's Rush to Green agenda will have a negative impact on your community. The latest move by the Biden administration is clearly part of a broader campaign to undercut American energy production. Will you expand on the types of jobs that are created by U.S. LNG and how they impact your community?
Well, presently, the LNG that has been ill affected with the permitting process, the jobs are construction type jobs that are there as far as I've been apprised. And these jobs now in Port Arthur, I know we don't have every citizen with the proper skill level for each craft that's needed out there.
He starts off with that, right? Why would anybody start off there? Hey, well, we don't have the people for the job. We don't have the qualifications for the job, you know. We ain't got the qualifications. We got some people with it, you know. So this is how they try to fool you, right? This is the propaganda. Like I showed you before, the first statement is him grandioso, right? They wrote that for him. It's a statement where they want to use like a news clip from him, right? They want to clip it. Then I showed you the actual, on the House Committee's page, they clipped it to show you that, to make it look like Bartie is fighting for Port Arthur's jobs, right? Now he comes off and say, well, look, we ain't got all the qualifications. Now you see the county judge looking at him. Everybody looking at Bartie like he crazy. And they just funny how the county judge kind of looking at him. It's funny to see.
But there are awesome Port Arthurans who have the skill level, and there are awesome Port Arthurans who are actually working in the facility now.
You see, he couldn't even come out with that strong lie. You see what I'm saying? He choking on this spit. So understand, he trying to clear it up, but his main purpose is to give that sound bite so they can clip it and to make his dumb ass say that, well, we ain't got all the jobs over here. We not qualified for it, right? That's his main issue. They using this trash to make him to make Port Arthur look bad, right? You have to understand, with all of the crime that Bartie has committed on council, right? The DA's office know there's a big push to get Bartie up out of here, right? Hey, what's going on, right? And the only way Bartie can kind of get some favor with these oligarchs, with these politicians, right, is to go ahead and deceive you all to make it look like black folk is working in mass numbers over there when they're actually not, right? That's Thurman Diablo Bartie's main purpose. It's a sellout. That's his only shot to legacy, is a sellout, and I hope you as Port Arthur citizens can't discern the two. They hoping that Port Arthur citizens are too stupid and you're such a sheep and to go whatever religious place he worships at or he preaches at, wherever, where you will be blinded by religion and just enamored in the name of the Lord, so you won't see all of the criminal actions that he's doing, right? I told you they have crooks that are pastors that are on council, on the EDC, in my opinion, also the Pleasure Island Commission, in my opinion, that's working at different hot spots, right, to try to control some form of government, right? That's my opinion. Let's keep on. They're using the religion to pull the wool over your eyes, and if they get caught or if something happened, they figure they're going to say, hey, look, the Lord forgive me. I prayed to the Lord, and that's it. You can't judge me. You don't have a heaven or hell to put me in. All this religious stuff, right? They want to kind of piggybacking off the Ransom Howard, from what I heard, the control that he's had with the congregation and how he used to run behind Carl Park and all that stuff. This is pretty much the same thing, right? But people are younger. See, people are not really just following pastors with impunity like they've done before, right? People are not that stupid now, but they do have some that really don't understand politics, right? So for the people that support him the second time, for the re-election time, after they've known that he's lied about it, they're guaranteeing that he can just keep fooling people, and he actually works within a network, right? So since Bartie scratches their back, the industry, the oligarchs, so they're going to kind of throw him a bone, and they're going to let him continue to probably do some more corruption and crime on this city council until they get tired of using them, right? And then something might happen to them. So this is how they use their tools, right? This is how the oligarchs, politicians use these ignorant black politicians, right? And especially these black pastors they have right here. One thing. Understand, when you look at these politicians, a lot of them have some dirt on them, right? You may have a politician with domestic violence abuse, right? You may have a politician that has wrote hot checks. You may have a couple of them wrote hot checks, right? You may have a politician that has shot somebody, right? So, you may have another politician like Bartie had a lot of doggone things going on, kicked off the JP, all this stuff. You had him. So, a lot of times we have politicians that misappropriated some federal money, right, from the Southeast Texas Regional Planning Commission, right? They have things where they should have went to jail, where they've probably given favor to sell you out as the citizens and to burn up this city money, school board money, so they can kind of, make something out of themselves, right? They've had a life of crime, so hey, come on to politics. We'll clean your image up. Hey, we know you done beat some kids, Bartie, as the justice of the peace. Don't even worry about that. We'll go ahead and, we'll let you work back in the school district of the same kids that you done beat up as a JP. We'll give you about 10 years and throw you back out there in the politics. Just lie to them again, and you'll be back in the game. So that's the playbook with these old, broken down politicians, right? They were not old, just the corrupt, because they have new corrupt ones now, right? They have new corrupt politicians, young corrupt politicians. So, let's kind of go on to see this other bull crap that's going on with the mayor that they're not telling you.
Now, for future jobs, once completion of the facility has actually gone into force, we would have permanent jobs that hopefully citizens in Port Arthur would qualify for those jobs as well.
So now he's saying hopefully we would have the permanent jobs we'd be qualified for. But I just showed you on this opening statement, right? This dog didn't lie to you and everybody out there listening, right? He's trying to fight for jobs that Port Arthurans will have. But as you see right here, you can hear from the way he's speaking about it, he knows that Port Arthur people are not represented in these jobs. So this is the conflict within the soul of a sellout, right? He just sold you out and told you that on this pre-written statement that, hey, I'm fighting for Port Arthur to have the jobs, the LNG is live and well, and this ban is going to hurt the jobs down here. And it's going to have a ripple effect through the region. Now this stupid son of a dog right here is telling you that, well, we don't have I don't know the jobs, and I hope they be qualified for it. I hope Port Arthur residents be qualified. I don't know.
So the economic impact from a facility such as the one that's in particular right now would be a positive economic shot in the arm. So
now let me bring this to your attention, right? Now all of this stuff right here, he's telling the truth on this. So he's being more truthful, I should say, right? Because he's saying that, hey, people don't have the jobs. He's not reading his script as much, right? He's not reading his script now. The first opening letter where he was looking down 100 times to a sheet of paper, that's his opening statement. That's what they told him to write. Now he's trying to wing it. Now he's trying to bull crap everybody as the pastor, right? Now you notice he's not looking down on some words. Now you know what he's talking about. We ain't in them jobs. That's pretty much more closer to the truth,
so to speak, for the city of Port Arthur. Now, the other LNGs that are there operating now, there are jobs there, and some craft jobs, operator-type jobs, engineering-type jobs, mechanical jobs, welders, carpenters, and even...
Look how the county judge looking at him. Hey, this Negro done went off script. This Negro kind of going off script. Now, he came from back here to kind of be up here to kind of see how this Negro doing, right? How to see Bartie done behind us doing.
Of the type of laborers, those jobs in those facilities are actually jobs that Port Arthurans have. Now, we don't have, and I don't have at my disposal, an actual, factor as far as the data on the number of individuals who are employed there.
Now, he don't have the number of the jobs of who's employed over here, but you've seen this lying-ass dog then tell you that the LNG pause is going to hurt the Port Arthur citizens' jobs. He don't have a clue of how many goddamn people that's in Port Arthur that have these jobs. Man, this is what I'm telling you. These dogs ain't trash, ain't crap. I'm going to have to put a parental advisory disclaimer on here because I'm going to be doing a lot of cussing.
I'll stop you right there and move on. My time's going to expire. 500 jobs out at Sabine Pass.
Basically, what Mr. Duncan said, hold on, Negro, your black ass has kind of gotten off script. Now, let me reel your dumb black ass onto the script. This is what we got. Now, you trying to memorize this stuff where you too stupid to memorize it, Thurman. Now, I'm going to have to go ahead and put the words in your mouth, Thurman. Now, just shut up for a minute while I have to kind of correct what your dumb ass is not saying. They realized they should have wrote a whole book on everything he needed to say, but he wanted to kind of freestyle it. So now Mr. Duncan going to finish stating what Thurman should have been saying, as far as he's concerned.
By Chenier, 500 Zachary contract jobs. That's 1,000 employees. That's 3 shifts, 12-hour shifts. That's a lot of employment. That's just one facility. And it's not counting all the other facilities. Future construction jobs for building out facilities. When I think about energy, I think about 4 key words: production, delivery, utilization, and export. Produce the American resources here that we are blessed with. Transmit or deliver those resources through pipelines to facilities like this, but also to utilities that can provide the power that we take for granted in this country, or the refineries that we saw on the energy corridor to refine that product into useful components that make our lives better, and then export to help our friends and allies around the globe lower their carbon emissions and meet their energy needs, especially at critical times when we're facing uncertainty like Ukraine. Let me ask you this. Are you concerned that the uncertainty created by this LNG export ban, an overall campaign against oil and gas, threatens these jobs and economic development opportunities in this community?
Yeah.
Now, translation. Negro, I didn't fix what your dumb ass should have been talking about. Now I need you to go ahead and tell these people about this part right here. They just see this is how stupid our mayor is, right? That's how of a puppet. They pulling the strings right there in front of your eyes, people. Wake up. They pulling, they basically telling this dumb son of a dog what to say right here in your face.
Yes, it probably would, because then it would ill affect the ability of that producer of those type.
Look his eyes. Look his eyes. Now he caught the verbal reprimand, right? Hey, Negro, you better say this stuff or we gonna start putting them laws in your ass for them criminal acts you've been doing, right? That's what that's in my opinion. Everything I'm saying is strictly in my opinion, speculation, and for entertainment.
Goods to be shipped or exported to customers and prospective customers that they actually have on board now. There are some contractual agreements for the future of these facilities and how they will export.
Look at his eyes. He caught that message loud and clear. Look at his eyes.
This product to those other countries.
Those future contracts are in jeopardy if these new permits are paused by this administration, as they have been. My time's expired. I'll now recognize the ranking member.
As you can see, it's trained up. Hey, Duncan is finishing his questions for him. Well, the future well, talk about the contracts, Bartie. Okay, yes, sir, boss. Contracts go be there. Duncan say, yeah, it's gonna be in the future. So they are pulling this dumbest strings right in your face.
Member, the gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Fletcher, for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Chairman Duncan. And I want to thank all of our witnesses today for your testimony. I found it very helpful to hear from you and, of course, to read your full testimony that you submitted before the hearing. And I really think, as I mentioned in my opening statement, that this pause gives us an important opportunity to think about community engagement. And that's something where I think there really have been demonstrated opportunities for improvement, both in assessing the pause, and certainly that's our purpose here today. And so, Mr. Beard,
the community engagement. Okay, see, they don't tell you. The news also on the show, they don't tell you about the community engagement right here. But let's get into it.
hoping that you could talk to us a little bit about how the existing LNG facilities that are currently operating in Port Arthur and those that are in the construction process have engaged with concerned community members prior to and during the construction and operations. And then maybe if you could share with us your thoughts on how folks involved in those entities could do a better job of engaging constructively with members of the community to understand the concerns and the issues and try to find that common ground that you were mentioning.
Thank you, Ranking Member. First of all, I think all of those companies do try their best as far as they know to publicly engage with the community and talk with community members. But it's more of a function of doing the usual thing, going to the Chamber of Commerce.
Look at how smoothly Mr. John Beard Jr. enunciated his words. Is speaking versus the confusion of Bartie when he had to read the opening statement, didn't have a clue. John Beard is simply in a higher class than Bartie. Without a question, he outclasses Bartie, and you should really take a look at this, people. And you think you deserve better, right? Look at all of these people speak, talk about an issue, and look at Bartie, the representative of the city of Port Arthur. And we elected this fool. Now, I ain't elected the second time, but the first time he lied to a lot of people. Boy, he's still lying today. But understand, this is the type of buffoonery we have, and we will never get anywhere meaningful as long as we have a Bartie and people in his network leading, right? That includes Bartie, his other son that want to be like him, Frank, there's other family members that's all in politics. If you see a Bartie or a family member here is in politics, most likely they ain't crap.
Going to other groups and organizations, but they have to do what we say is to go into the bushes, into the weeds, where people really are. Go into the neighborhoods, work with community organizations and the others, because one thing that we do know is that Port Arthur's chronically high unemployment is not being affected, despite all the number of jobs you mentioned, Mr. Chairman. We are not lowering unemployment here. We haven't for decades. So what's happening? If they're engaging, then why aren't people being hired? The mayor mentions the fact about training, but we don't have a shortage of trained people. I've got names of 25 people or better on this phone right here.
And I remember when John Beard was asking people for their information. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. Still been fighting for this stuff, man. Look, at least about 3 or 4 years ago. Now, John put it out there, and let's see what our mayor do, right? John has specifically told everybody, hey, look, we not getting these jobs. And no news organization has put this in the issue, right? Hey, you saying you lose jobs, we not getting the jobs. That's basically the argument that Mr. Beard has, but nobody puts that argument in the context.
Their resumes have education all the way from 2-year associates to master's degrees, but they cannot get an interview or even get a chance to test. Well, how can they be hired? And how also can they be hired when the contractors that come in to this city bring their workforce with them? We have this on knowledge of people who left Port Arthur to come back and get a job, but they will work with another company when that job was over. Hey, why don't you come with us? We're going to be moving to that big project in Port Arthur. So that displaces our workforce. There's not nearly enough being done, because if it were, unemployment figures would change.
Thank you, Mr. Beard. I think that's very helpful for all of us to take.
Okay, I'm reiterating again so you can understand where the bull crap is happening. We all need to take a course or read a book or some online stuff or propaganda, right? Because they saying, hey, we gonna lose jobs. But Beard said, hey, we not getting the jobs over here in Port Arthur, right? They not putting that in perspective. They not putting that in perspective. Nobody is, right? Let's go. Let's continue.
Back. I think we're going to get a chance to ask more questions. So I want to turn quickly my next question with the time I have left to Mayor Bartie, because in your testimony you talked about opportunities that are created from these positions, and as we've just heard, maybe more of them could be coming to the citizens of Port Arthur. Do you think that, could you talk a little bit about opportunities to bring these facilities and those who are sort of bringing this development, how the city could work with them, with the operators to improve and mitigate some of the issues that Mr. Beard has talked about?
Yeah,
And look, and understand, we've been sold this lie for a long time. Every time we are being, every time these refineries, hey, look, hopefully they'll get, hey, work with them, they'll go ahead and hire you. They never hire the amount of people in the city, pretty much black folks, right? Whoever in the city, if you're black, white, or whatever, they consider you black. So a lot of the people in the city is not being hired, and they want to play the same one-trick pony on you, right? Well, hey, Bartie, well, if these jobs come, you can work with the city and get the jobs going on. That type of lie never happens, right? Because you have a bigger thing of corruption and racism that's over, right? You have the racism where the refiners, they want to keep them six-figure jobs to themselves, right? These are six-figure jobs, operators and, construction, but they call them, for both of them, right? Where, and especially if you're an operator, that's the easiest way you can retire with $1 million, right? That's the easiest way, with at least $1 million. I heard like 10 years you'll be there with $1 million. So you can understand, right? You can go ahead, this is a lucrative job, lucrative career where you can have some generational wealth, right? You can do a lot of things with these high wage jobs, especially in Texas, lower cost of living, right? Perfect situation, but we not getting a job. Now, she's just going to the old question, hey, what's going on, Bartie? How can we kind of work with the city? Let me just back it up so you can hear the actual question that she said and listen to the answer Bartie going to give.
City could work with them, those who are sort of bringing this development, how the city could work with them, with the operators to improve and mitigate some of the issues that Mr. Beard has talked about?
Yeah, on the job opportunities, I'm going to be correct on what you would like for an answer. There.
Now hold on. What do you mean that? What do you so now you don't know the question, right? Now your clown behind don't know the question. She didn't ask you, how can we mitigate this stuff? Hey, you saying that it's going to help jobs. That's what you just said right on your opening thing. Now, John Beard called you. Hey, you said that we don't have training. We lacking training. But hey, John Beard said, hey, I got people right here on my cell phone that are qualified. How can we get qualified people in there?
Are what we call IDAs that are actually in place with facilities, with industrial facilities. And there are certain numbers of Port Arthurans that are actually asked, or the IDA stipulates a certain percentage of Port Arthurans to be employed during a specific period of time. If they are not according to the IDAs, then there is a penalty fee that that particular industrial employer would actually pay to the city for not fulfilling that particular tenet or article in that agreement. Now, futuristically, with the LNG.
Now, these IDAs Bartie is talking about, right? I've heard two things. Some people say it's in lieu of tax agreements, or they pay the full tax, but the people that they hire, they get discounts from. Whichever way it is, right? They're still not actively talking about. Look, that's the same crap that's been going on, right? Now, it is my opinion that these crooked politicians would rather not have them hire Port Arthur citizens, because so they can get a portion of their tax money, right? The more tax money coming to Port Arthur, that's more that they can scheme, right? And if they actually had to hire you, that would supposedly lessen the actual tax abatement. So, right? So for them, how they've been trying to fight and hog for money, right? Spend and blow money. I don't really see that's happening, right? I don't see that's happening. I'm pretty sure I know that's not happening because it haven't been before. The rates are low, and there's no network or no system behind that, Bartie. You have the news. It's not going to even you have multiple news platforms that's not going to put that out. You not putting that out. You're not fighting for it. You're not saying John Beard is right. You're just trying to make of an excuse about some type of IDA. And the council is so corrupt, we can't trust them with anything that's coming out of their mouths, right? We see them on council actually commit crimes, lie, bully people, right? Bully citizens, bully other council members, bully staff members, city attorneys, right? So you can't trust them, right? And especially with this the tuberculosis issue, right? They was lying about that. You had to get a council member to say, hey, she heard that we had 4 cases. Then the health department had to admit, the city and the health department had to admit they had 4 cases. They went on the news and lied that they were going to grandfather in a disabled, blind person back to their bus route where that actually didn't happen, right? So they went and lied to the citizens on there. So I can't trust this lying son of a dog right here, because he could be pocketed in it. He could have a separate deal where he pockets stuff, right? So this is the problem with having a lying mayor, a lying politician that we all know he's lying, right? He done went on the news and lied on the disabled community by saying they'll be grandfathered in, when this young lady had to come up to council to at least 3 goddamn times to speak to council, where the council let this man and everybody lie. They let him and other staff members, city managers, former city attorneys lie to the damn citizens, right? So this is why I can't believe a goddamn thing that comes out of this crack smoking son of a bitch's mouth. Pardon my African. And I'm just speculating. I don't know if it's true or not, and this is for entertainment.
G's, and with this one LNG in particular, whenever I came in office in 2019, they were beginning the process. The others were already there, and I visited with them, but those agreements were already in place and functioning. We are hoping that with the present facility that is being constructed and the future of, I think it's the train number 2, I think that's the proper name for it, that we would have a greater number of citizens prepared, even working with Lamar State College, Port Arthur, to help provide citizens with the crafts necessary so that the citizens of Port Arthur would be attractive for employment.
So now what he's saying, so now he's actually addressing the fact that, hey, we don't have the people in the jobs that they need training. That's what he's saying, right? He still didn't answer the question that, hey, Beard has the people. I got people that's qualified right here. They're not getting any further. They can do an interview. It's not like they come into an interview on some flip-flops, some holes in their pants. Most of them know how to do a halfway decent interview. So that's not the case.
In these facilities. And again, as I said, if they are not employing Port Arthurans as the agreement says, then there is a penalty that the company is assessed.
Thank you.
Well, and did he say the penalty? Well, this is a financial penalty. That ain't nothing else. And hell, and probably they not paying their full, and word has it that they not paying the full taxes anyway. So it's so much corruption on here, especially with this lying dog on here, this lying monkey in a zoot suit, right? I'm going to go like the racist said. He's nothing but a lying monkey in this zoot suit, Diablo. Yeah, and you can't trust nothing about it.
Have exceeded my time, so Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back for this round.
Yields back. I'll now
Means less revenue to the city.
It would. However, now the pause that I think that we're in question right now hasn't become totally effective. It's not in effect because I think the pause is for phase 2 and not. It doesn't involve the current work that's going on. But however, the students that we are educating now in.
Now he trying to go to her like she looking like, I don't want your nasty behind even touching me. Get your behind away from her. That's kind of how she was looking. But yeah, he trying to piggyback to other people. Like he think he's on council right now. He think he's on council. He's gonna go ahead and make a call to the city attorney, to Frank, to somebody. Hey, kind of get my back on this.
The next 24 months, if this doesn't change, then it will have an ill effect, and the negative impact would be upon us.
Well, it does have
The
a.
first thing, going back to what was said earlier about, I think it might have been the chair mentioned traveling through Louisiana and seeing all of those facilities and seeing the effect of that. But I wonder, did he take a moment to stop in those communities and ask about the health effects of those people there that live in Mossville and that live in other communities that are near there, that are suffering from the pollution of industries that are already there? They're inland, 50 miles. There are no LNGs there. So they're not affected by LNG, but they're affected by the pollution coming from Sasol and some of the larger facilities that have been built there. With regard to what programs happen, we got to go back to the beginning. It starts at the point of extraction out in West Texas in the Permian, where the ancestral and tribal lands of many native peoples is being used, and even those American citizens and people like ourselves whose lands are being taken from them through eminent domain, simply to satisfy this need for oil. You talked about the fact earlier even of these facilities, but there are 25 facilities, some in some form of construction, some are in permitting, but all of them are going forward. Yet we already have at least 8 to 11 of those facilities already built. So where this pause would affect the export and shipment of gas already, with more coming online, which is said to be almost double, if not triple, by 2027, how are we hurting the country or hurting our friends if we're able to export more oil and gas just the same? Makes no sense. Keystone Pipeline, as you mentioned, that's just one of 4 that was affected. The others are still terminating right here in Nederland, Texas, just down the way. So we have to have agreements that start from the beginning at the extraction all the way to communities like Port Arthur. It's in the 95th percentile in terms of air quality. What that means is this: that only 5% of cities in the country have worse air than we do. And that air has some of the largest emitters of benzene and other toxins than virtually any place in the country. That's the price we pay. So when you go through these communities, you have to understand and know what they've been suffering for decades, but yet America still depends on them. It talks about the national interest. Well, Texas likes to talk about, as you know, Congressman Weber, seceding from the Union. We haven't done that yet, but we're part of that union, and we're part of Texas, and that suffering continues, and those things have to be considered, those impacts, as well as the community impacts, as well as the lack of jobs. How many of those people that are coming out of your programs at Lamar State College are actually being hired? Who's tracking that? Who's tracking tax abatement, Mayor, to make sure that tax abatement is actually putting those people to work? I want to go back to what, and I'll stop, what President Reagan said. We trust, but we want to verify. Where's the verification? How do we know they're actually putting those people to work? And what jobs are they working in? That's critical. We have to do the full measure of making sure that we get the benefits if you're going to have the pain and suffering inflicted by the pollution and all that's happening.
Well, thank you, Mr. Beard. And it sounds to me like some of the things that you're talking about, as you said, are beyond the scope of LNG and involve.
Well, hell, it is not beyond the scope. It's not beyond the scope because you talk. It's not beyond the scope, but you're talking about it, right? You're talking about the LNG thing. So all of this stuff is into play of it, right? That's all of that goes into play for what everything is talking about, right? Let's go ahead on and talk about let's go ahead and talk about the propaganda, right? Boom, you see a picture right here. You see 4 people on here, right? Bam. Okay, let's see what this news article says. Port Arthur Mayor Thurman Bartie left. Lamar State College Port Arthur President Dr. Betty Rinyard and Larry Kelly, director of the Port of Port Arthur, are seen during Monday's field hearing on the pause on the LNG exports, right? Who's this black guy in the middle? Nobody knows. You completely missed out on on him. They did not put him in the doggone article, right? Bam. Randall Webb along the members in President Biden pause. Held at the Multi-Purpose Center. Thurman Bartie, Moore State College, Betty Renard, John Beard, founder and president and executive director of the Port Arthur Action Network, Larry Kelly. Each of the 4 testifying witnesses brought something different to the table. Bartie on the future of economic impact by the LNG industry, with hopes a compromise can be made, right? Renard painted a picture for LSCPA and acknowledged the impact of the LNG ports has on the college. The college is situated in the most urban blah, 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 blah. Okay. LNG, generally speaking, the impacts, reduced energy support, Raynard. Okay, ban versus pause. Okay, let's see what's pros for the ban versus the pause, or what's on either side of the ban, pause, whichever you want to call it. Let's see. Okay, Duncan talked about Biden issued the ban, rash decision. Said Duncan, Lizzie Fletcher noted disagreement with the title. Okay, I mean that really wasn't worth reporting, but hell, a disagreement. Jeremy's announcement as you continue each day. Temporary pause. Okay, including filling construction for proposed. Blah blah blah. Fletcher noted again. Weber district stretches from Lake Jackson Orange will have effect throughout Southeast Texas. And concerns include investments. Okay, you don't hear nothing from John Beard, right? And it's damn near basically yellow journalism. And this is propaganda piece. You have 4 people on there. You had nothing but the pros for the LNG project, and you refuse to say anything that John Beard stated, right? So all of this is propaganda. All of this is how they lied to you, right? Now let's go to the Beaumont Enterprise. They have a different type of article, right? They have somewhere showing John Beard talking to individuals, right? Including, I think that's the guy from West Virginia, right? Forgot his name. So, they talk about some things that John Beard stated, right? Told the committee, our personally Metro Petrochemical, boom. So they're actually putting some things that John Beard said in here, right? Now, this has to be, this is done from a person, is Pedersen, environmental and governmental policy reporter. I guess, I don't know, it's from the Beaumont, I guess, she's the policy reporter from the Beaumont Enterprise. So So now you can see how it is the Port Arthur news is so slanted, right? You know, we pretty much subsidize a majority of their income. So if they didn't have the city of Port Arthur as for financier, they would go bankrupt. I'm pretty sure of it. So understand all of these things are pretty much propaganda, right? These things, propaganda, and the lies is what's told to you. So you as citizens need to go ahead and kind of look at this, right? We have this sellout son of a dog, right? Oh, I'm about to get into the rant. We have this sellout son of a bitch, Mayor Thurman Diablo Bartie, right? It's nothing but the devil. People, he's nothing but the devil. I'm showing you right here in your face. He gave the opening statement how this is going to hurt jobs, right? Where he had to read off the doggone paper. Now, after that, when he tried to freestyle it, where he wasn't looking on the paper, he kind of had to admit that, hey, we don't have the jobs. I don't know where the jobs are at, right? So for him, after admitting that, look, he is nothing but a controlled politician. Now, let me go back over here for a minute. Now, I don't know if anybody noticed, right? I don't know if anybody noticed, but he didn't use one reference to Christ, Jesus, God in dealing with these white folks, right? He didn't have to deal none of that. See, the white community don't want to hear all this shucking and jiving about some type of the religion. They don't want their religion to be
Spirit
played with.
required to harness
And that's what black
the United
folks
States to global
need to kind of take away from that too. You don't need to, you shouldn't have a politician playing with your religion. And that's what Bartie does on council. So in the white community, he's acting so polite, so obedient, right? He knows not to say anything, right? Just go ahead and look at him. Just go ahead and look at how Bartie. Just go ahead and look at how Bartie act, right? Just look at him. He's calm, docile. He's not arguing. He's not using profane language. He's not disrespecting anybody. He's not interrupting anybody. He's not going crazy. He's so obedient. This is such a docile picture of him right here. I don't remember the last time I seen Bartie this well mannered. Bartie looks like a well mannered Negro right here. Just listening, and this is how he act when he's away from the black community, right? He's been put in the black community as a cancer. He's used to destabilize the black community, right? He doesn't sit this calm when he's on council. If somebody's talking and it's something that he doesn't agree with, he will interrupt them. He knows that he can't do this in front of these white folks right there, right? White folks, they have a bigger brass than him, right? That has a higher rank than him. But he will abuse people that he feels are under him, or if they're black. Or if they're black, he feels they'll abuse them, or if he thinks they're under him by way of counsel or something like that. So this is how this sellout operates, right? So calm, look at him. I never seen Bartie this, so that's why I had to clip this picture out and show how obedient he is. Right? You can't ask for a more of an obedient mayor than this. This shows real calmness. In a matter of fact, it looks like he may have taken some medication. Right? That's what it looks like. He's so calm right here, but in the council meeting, whether if it's something that he agrees with or not. He just starts an argument with them, shows how he has to be the big guy on the scene. And, you know, hey, that's just that's just the way how it is. So everybody understand, you know, this is Super Dave back at it again with the PA Political Revolution Podcast. And hey, go ahead and follow these politicians, right? I'm showing you how they lying to you. I'm showing you how this network kind of keep being corrupt. And I'm showing you how they try to, you know, wash each other's back. Until the next time, everybody take it easy. Peace.